stands for Advancing the European Multilingual Experience. This is a research project that aims to raise awareness of multilingualism among policymakers, health professionals, academics, and educators. It is a 5-year collaborative research project studying multilingualism in Europe with partner institutions across 8 European countries.
Hi, my name is Jiyoung Choi. I was a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Nantes, France, involved in work package number 3, Heritage Languages and Language Users in the EU of the Athens project. In my research, I investigated heritage language speakers' linguistic knowledge in comparative perspective. In particular, I was trying to understand whether and to what extent their linguistic knowledge is different or similar compared to that of native speakers on the one hand, and to that of second language learners on the other hand. So why do we need to understand heritage speakers' linguistic knowledge? Well, as it is argued by several linguists, heritage speakers are unbalanced bilinguals because they have acquired 2 languages in different linguistic environments. Well, they have acquired simultaneously or successively their heritage language, which is the language of their parents, learned and used in very restricted context, that is at home only, and the predominant language of the society. So as an adult, heritage speakers are more comfortable in the dominant language spoken outside the home and in which they are educated in the society. So their heritage language becomes the weaker language since they have very few chances to develop it much further compared to native speakers of that language. So investigating how heritage speakers are linguistically different or similar in comparison with native speakers and second language learners also is interesting, and it is very relevant work, I think. Because on the basis of what we found out in our research, we can think about the best methods to help them maintain and improve their heritage language beyond what they acquired at home. In particular, in my research, I looked at, and I'm still doing it, Korean heritage speakers who were born in France or who arrived in France before the age of 3. They have acquired simultaneously or successively 2 different languages of which linguistic systems are completely different each other. That is Korean as their heritage language and French as their dominant language. So I investigated their linguistic knowledge of heritage Korean compared to native speakers of Korean and second language learners of Korean. And specifically, I tested the interpretation of WH words in Korean negative questions by Korean heritage speakers. In fact, in Korean, we can form WH questions with the WH words in 2 different word orders, subject, object, verb, SOV, versus O, object, subject, verb, OSV. And interestingly, when it is about negative questions with an object WH word and a particular item, so-called a negative polarity item, NPI, anyone in subject position, the WH word can be interpreted in 2 different ways in Korean. That is, the OSV word order yields a WH question reading, where the WH word is interpreted as an interrogative, that is, what? Whereas the SOV word order yields a yes or no question reading, where the WH word is interpreted as an indefinite, that is, something. So based on this observation, I experimentally investigated the following research question. Do Korean heritage speakers know that WH words in Korean can be interpreted in 2 different ways, either as an interrogative or as an indefinite, whereas WH words in French, which is their dominant language, can be interpreted only as an interrogative. And I also compared, I compared the heritage speakers' pattern of behavior with Korean native speakers on the one hand, and with second language learners of Korean on the other hand. And to collect the data, we designed and conducted an original production task verifying the interpretation of WH words in negative questions in Korean. And the production task for the participant was asked to answer negative WH questions in both SOV order versus OSV order. And crucially, the target questions were given in controlled discourses context. That is, we gave some stories with a picture where both a WH interpretation and a yes or no interpretation of the given question are possible. So here is an example of the experimental stimuli translated into English. So we see a picture with some short story where Minsu and Juno do not like to eat vegetables, but today mom said that they have to eat carrots and broccoli that she prepared for lunch. Minsu is a amenable child and he tried to eat the vegetables. He ate only carrots up, but he could not eat broccoli. However, Juno really hates vegetables, so he did not eat any vegetables. So this is the story. So with the story, the test sentence in SOV word order means did no one eat something at the table in Korean, where the WH word is interpreted as an indefinite something. So the expected answer is no, because Minsu ate carrots in the story. On the other hand, the test sentence in OSV word order means what did no one eat at the table, where the WH word is interpreted as an interrogative what. So the expected answer is broccoli. So what we found out is that Korean heritage speakers showed a different pattern of behavior from native speakers, but similar to second language learners of Korean. That is, both heritage speakers and second language learners of Korean interpreted WH words only as interrogatives, whatever word order is. However, Korean native speakers, even 4-year-old children, assigned two different interpretations according to word orders as expected. So I think two explanations are possible for these results. They showed such a pattern of behavior either because their heritage Korean is not fully acquired, since they acquired this language in very, very restricted context, that is at home only, or it could be case because they showed transfer effects from their dominant language, French, where WH words can be interpreted only as interrogatives, that is what. So I'm actually looking at the error pattern of heritage speakers and second language learners to understand to what extent these two groups are similar. And I'm also considering the interpretation of WH words with respect to prosodic patterns of sentences containing them to examine Korean heritage speakers' knowledge of the syntax, semantics, phonology interface. So thank you.